Hey everybody, I'm back with another Five Below find. It is a 23-in-1 super game, the game on the go. Yep, this thing cost me a whopping $5. It says for ages 5 and up, adult supervision required. That's kind of humorous to me. And it only gets, was that 3.5 hearts out of 5? I'm surprised that they would rank their own product so low. And it tells us in the back 23 fun games. So we got Block Builder, Battle Command, Race Card, Table Tennis. Ooh, Table Tennis 2. I heard the sequel's better than the first. Bees, not the bees. Shooter, Complete, and more. So is the name of the game Shooter Complete, or is Complete a separate game? We will find out. So let's go ahead and take the super game 23-in-1 out of the package and see if it's worth $5 or not. Let's go to the games. Okay, here it is out of the package. Looks like kind of like a cheap knockoff PSP, if you will. Has decent weight to it. At the back, you can see the battery compartment, which both has a latch and a little miniature screw that you have to take out to put in your two AA batteries. There is your speaker. It does come with an instruction manual that I already managed to stain with a little bit of coffee on it. It doesn't give you a whole lot of details, but enough to get going. So it tells you a little bit about the games. So let's go ahead and see. We got a D-pad of sorts. We have 4 buttons, but really these buttons, basically they're one button. Just it doesn't matter where you press. On, off, a start, pause button, reset, and sound. And it starts off with a nice little jingle. Now, if this setup looks familiar, this screen, it is very reminiscent of the $5 mini arcade that I bought from Five Below, but it is different. The games have been adjusted. There are some similarities and some differences. So let's see, this button right here, this goes through the various games, and there's like a little preview window to give you an idea of what the game's going to look like. So 1 through 8 are blockbuster. So this button, this one on the left, it adjusts the level. On the right, this adjusts the speed. Pressing right adjusts the left. It's like reversed a little bit. Pressing down and up goes through these game variations. So some games have lots of variations, some don't. So let's do a little bit of Block Builder. So 1 through 8 are Block Builder, basically a Tetris style game. And here we go. And this one's weird because pushing the buttons can actually change the piece, not rotate. There is a basic one that rotates the piece, but this one actually can change the piece. I'm doing terrible at it. Nice little jingle at the end there. Let's go ahead, hit reset. Let's do just the very first game. And it's just basically Tetris, pressing down to go faster. Rotate. You only rotate in one direction. And you basically get the gist. It's Tetris. It's a basic Tetris. So let's go ahead and look at some of the other games. So let's reset. And let's see. I got to do this one. And let's go to game 9. This is Battle Command. Let's up the speed. Because a lot of these games, they run kind of slow if you start at the basic speed. So I recommend starting at a faster speed. So let's hit the start button. And basically, you're shooting other tanks, and there's like little obstacles you can blast away, barriers, if you will. And I think we're just trading bullets at this point. And, oh, got through him. Nice explosion sound. I will definitely say this is a good explosion sound. All right. So let's go ahead and do the next game. So let's see, game 10 is Race Car. And let's up the speed again. Let's go to 9, which is pretty fast at start. And I couldn't get through that one. Let's try it again. And if you want, you can hit the button to go faster. What narrow roads. This one's hard, but that's just one of the variations. There's several variations for each game. So let's go ahead and get out of here. And we will do Table Tennis, which is basically Breakout, and it's surprisingly good for what it is. So we'll start level 3. We'll do a 9 speed or 8 speed. We'll do, and you can see, ooh, I hit the wrong button there. So let's go back to, what was that? Game 11. And you could see that this one has 16 variations. Let's go ahead and do variation 4 just for fun. And look at that. I got this really tiny paddle in this variation. Very tiny. Some of the variations have the standard size paddle. This one has a tiny one, but it controls surprising well. For a breakout game with a D-pad, I actually enjoy that. You press the button, it speeds it up. I kind of like this. This is surprising how enjoyable that one is to me. All right, so let's see. Next is bees. Not the bees. Let's do bees. And we will do, let's speed it up. Let's see which one speed. That speed. And we'll hit start. So you're shooting these shapes, but sometimes these I guess they're supposed to be bees, but pieces of the block comes down and you don't want to get hit by that. You could shoot it or you lose a life just like that. Or actually I didn't. I survived. Okay. And this again, honestly, it controls pretty well. I'm surprised how well a lot of these games control on this cheap feeling D-pad, but it does do a good job. All right, so now let's go to game 13. It's Table Tennis 2, the sequel. So let's see what it's like. So we'll do 13. And then let's get the speed higher. Let's just do 6. And we'll just do the basic game variation. Got the heart back. And look at that. You now have 2 paddles. You have one on top and one on the bottom. So you don't want the ball to go either too high or too low past either paddle. So once you clear a section in the middle, the ball will theoretically be able to reach the other paddle. So it's an interesting kind of take on the breakout formula. Push the ball to make it go faster. Not too shabby at all. All right, so let's see. We got only a couple games left. Shooter is next. That's game 14. And again, I like to get the speed. And Shooter, you're basically shooting these blocks before it reaches you. And at, slower speeds, it's nothing, but when it gets faster, it actually can become quite challenging. Great sound effect, as I said, at least for the explosion. And then finally, game 15, we'll hit start. This is complete. I'll just play the really slow so you get an idea what slow speed is like. So this one, you are trying to make lines. And when you do, kind of like Tetris, they disappear. But if you don't shoot correctly, you can actually have extra blocks now that you have to make a line. But again, this actually controls okay as well. And then last is more of the block builder. So I'll just do one of those. So let's see, that is 16 through 23. Let's do 23. Let's see what happens at 23, the very last game variation. And we'll just start. And look at that. You're going this one. Each button press changes the shape. And instead of from top to bottom, you're going bottom to top. And then also the screen moves every time a little bit to the right. So if you're used to regular Tetris and you want something to kind of shake things up, Block Builder Game 23 is for you. And I had a little alarm to tell me that things were about to get real. Come on, give me the block. There we go. And I got a line. So there you go. That is the $5 little handheld game from Five Below. I'm actually surprised. I like this a lot better than the mini arcade, which shocks me because they look like, from on the surface, the way the screen's set up, they look like they're basically the same thing, but they're not. And I actually think this plays better. And for $5, if you don't mind LCD graphics, this is actually a pretty good deal. At least that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Go ahead, click like and subscribe, and I will see you next time on the next No Swear Gamer video.